I'm eating peanuts or something, and it get caught in my throat, and and it came out, and but I was already dozing off, so I went out, boom, and hit the floor. And I was saying I was in the house by myself, and if that thing was that, I would have died, and no one would have known. Wasn't that shit some creepy thing?
Yeah, out of all the things.
Peanut.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Peanut.
Isn't that something? When I'm going down, it came out, but it always got me. I was already in that zone.
What a trip.
Welcome back to Hotboxin. I'm Mike Tyson. And right here is my friend Danielle, Mark, and Chad. And we're entrepreneurs, and we want to make the world a better place. Isn't that correct?
Yep.
A little bit, right?
Absolutely.
How did that come
100%
across?
correct.
That's the mission.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing, guys. So tell me, how do you feel about this, Daniel?
About our work together?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
Tyson Ranch.
Oh, Tyson Ranch.
What's the potential?
It's I mean, for you as a person, as a brand, it's inspiring for me to just continually see you speak your truth. And that really resonates with me. And alternative treatments, classic medicines from nature is something that I'm very passionate about. I've gotten into trouble with, opiates in the past, in my past career after surgeries and things like that. And cannabis and psychedelics really helped me really grab a hold of my life and shift perspective of the world and the way that I can recover and communicate with other people and strengthen my relationships and feel more connected. So I'm all for, marijuana. I'm all for psychedelics, and what you're doing at Tyson Ranch, I think is nothing short of amazing. And the way that you advocate for these different medicines is inspiring.
I did the toad right in there, and once I did the toad, my whole life changed. I woke up, boom, straight on. Never had the desire to drink. I just wanted to be the best of the height of my possibilities.
Right. I mean, 5-MeO has been a part of my journey. Big dose psilocybin really helped me recover my quality of life, my brain health.
Once I leave here, I'm getting ready to do it.
Yeah? Today? That's great. With a shaman, with somebody, proper dosage, setting. Yeah.
I go up to like a 250.
Okay. When do you know that you need it? Like, do you get called to it, or do you? Yeah. Because when I did it, it was a stack therapy, like a full day, and I was really there to save my life. I was in a similar position that you were, right? With everything kind of my relationships were. I was depressed. I was suicidal. And these medicines really help bring me out of it. And then you dive into the science about it, how they connect different hemispheres of the brain that were once shut down. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. It's pretty remarkable.
Daniel, why is it when I do mushrooms or something, the fucking trees and plants start talking to me and they're moving and shit? Did that happen to you too?
Yeah, at high dose. Yeah, for sure. There's hallucinations.
I tell them bring a lot.
But that's the key is like tolerance, and then you build up. The more that you take this medicine, if you don't take a break, you really do build up a tolerance to it.
I take a break, I start off slow.
Yeah. When you go back to it. Yeah.
He's being a lot, but I start off slow, and I said, let's try this.
28.
Back to your 5.
Yeah, right? Jeez. I like to think
Yeah.
I don't know
if I find my way back.
My office is full of a bunch of successful addicts.
Yeah. Man. I mean, it does, like, what I'm interested in too is, a lot of people are doing high dose for depression or for anxiety or to come back.
I think what's that dose again they do? I forgot.
Like a microdose?
Microdose,
yeah.
They do that microdose. That mellows a lot of guys out.
For sure. On a daily basis, right? And then
too much might get you weird, but that's a little microdose keep you level.
For sure. I mean, it hits all the right happy chemicals in the brain,
Yes, I
right?
agree.
Serotonin
I'm
and
strong for
yeah.
microdose.
And over a longer period of time, like it does show,
And it keeps you sharp.
real sharp.
Ooh.
But like that's what I'm interested in is
It
like
can amplify
performance.
Yeah, it
you know?
amplifies. I mean, I think what's
Ooh.
crazy about what we've learned
And you can
is it
see so
amplifies
far.
sport. It
Like
can
with-
amplify your. It's like when you're. Daniel always says, but it sharpens certain aspects that you're already sharp, and it makes you even multiplies it,
Right.
which could be good or bad.
Yeah, depending on the person and depending on the strain, the genetics of the
Yeah.
strain, depending on why you're using it. That's the biggest thing is intention. I always have an intention anytime that I microdose or anytime that I go into a ceremony. It's for a very specific reason. And then when I come out or during that ceremony, I always get what I need because psilocybin specifically exasperates or what's at the forefront of our mind, right? So
it's so funny you said that. Everything that I forgot what they called manifest came true.
Right.
And it's so weird.
You have the opportunity now that legality is on your side also, right? Like when like an FDA approves something, it becomes okay to take, even a
And
vaccine.
not only that, Tyson Ranch, we'll be able to not only sell cannabis. This is the first time it had me be able to sell liquor, which I think is yucky, but I guess this is the business that I'm in.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the first time I think that happened.
Yeah, I mean, for the company that I have, Fyllo, all we do is work with cannabis to basically make sure they're following legalities. So it's just getting brand. I mean, in the world of cannabis, brands struggle the same way, like, you know, a craft or even a cash. You can market to anybody you want to come to your restaurant. In cannabis, it's not, right? So you had it. Well, now you can't. I mean, you have to work through it, but that was when we jumped in just to really figure out how to make that, you know, have the same playing field.
But the regulations are allowing for a new conversation. It's really like the benefit. It's like a double-edged sword. Like you're regulated, but as a result of being legal with regulation, you're now allowed to talk to people about things other than it's good for you. Why? Well, they'll believe it if it's legal. If it's still illegal, it's like, don't talk to me about it because it's illegal. Right? Like alcohol is probably the worst thing you can do to your body. And yeah, that's been legal. And then everybody drinks it and everyone celebrates with it and it's okay. And the stigma is
Mark, I went to St. Bart's with some friends. As soon as I went there, the government came in and gave me license for cannabis for the Caribbean. As soon as I went there, the guy came. I thought they were gonna come check me, pat me down or something. They handed me to
carry it, not sell it, but like to have it.
Just to have it,
use it. Yeah.
You know, 'cause this is the ticket to sell cannabis.
To sell as well.
Yeah, to the Caribbean.
I mean, the war on drugs is just an absolute failure. And when you think about Schedule I drugs, marijuana, and then psilocybin, magic mushrooms, right? High abuse liability, which we know isn't true, and no medicinal value. There are medical marijuana programs all over the United States, but they are still both federally illegal, right? Just because of the scheduling. If we can continue to educate and we can continue to push forward awareness on what these medicines can do, the descheduling, the reason I'm very passionate about decrim movements is to get these medicines descheduled so then you can bring them into the context of making them a medicine without the red tape. So it won't take me 5 to 7 years with Wesana to research the active ingredient of psilocybin for depression or traumatic brain injury related anxiety. So, I mean, we have what you're doing with your following and your platform in Tyson Ranch is extremely important, and what you're doing for psychedelics as well. And I'm just grateful that, I don't know how we met. We were talking about this the other day. Like we were sitting here with you, and I'm just,
we were sitting in my office when COVID happened. And we worked out of my office. We call it the War Room. A lot of good things happened there.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need to help destigmatize. We were thinking about, I have Fyllo. We were starting Wesana. He reached out to me on LinkedIn. And I'm like, we got to get Mike on working with us because Mike has a great footprint on talking of mushrooms. Then we had Brian Spears working at Fyllo, reached out to Azim, got us in touch with Mike, and that's how we're here. And it's all crazy how cannabis, psilocybin, they all are intertwined. Yeah. You see all the same people involved because very similar missions, like you said.
Right.
At the same time, you're fighting the same battle.
Right.
And it's destigmatizing something that I learned that like athletes like you guys, you know, you're at a sporting event, you're watching Daniel Carcillo fight or Mike fight at heavyweight. No one knows about the damage that you guys deal with after. I think what we hope to see too is athletic organizations allowing people to utilize same thing treatments you guys have. So
I think the government is so afraid of this medicine.
Yeah, but marijuana sales are smashing alcohol sales in Illinois. Like once they start, what talks, right, is
Tax money,
right? Sure. So like especially that's why you're seeing the acceptance,
right? I think you saw that. You saw with COVID, our business blew up when it became an essential. Right. I can't go to Catch and get some sushi with my friends, but I can go to the retail dispensary and buy weed. Right. So it changed the game.
Yeah.
Mark, for your question for you though, with eventually where it goes with like lounges, you know, cannabis lounges eventually will come out more and more. Like, would you think anything would ever happen with what you're doing? Would you ever have lounges in the restaurant or in the back?
We have our own little lounges.
Yeah.
No, but when it becomes a actual cannabis lounge with food and beverage, I don't know that I would do Catch with that.
Yeah, but do another concept.
Being in the culinary business, and I kind of talked to your team about that idea in general, like what would really go well with it? Like, is it sushi or is it like the greatest Italian, you know, pizza and like easy food to have that you would desire maybe, but just like a dumbed down version of like a sophisticated restaurant.
Well, it's like wine. If you look at cannabis like wine, you can correlate strains with food.
Yeah, but so you would have to really do a pairing. It wouldn't just be like throw Catch on it.
No. I'm just saying in general, you know.
But I think that, look, food and beverage goes with everything. Every activity we do revolves around that. So certainly, you know, as things get more creative and entrepreneurs start entering those markets because of legality, you will see probably a tremendous amount of pairing and high, middle, and low, you know, consumer, you know, pricing or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting in the next 2 years.
You know, if you're aware, in Tyson Ranch, we had ideas to make a little, you know, town there pretty much. And I was always wanting to, because I was going to be a guest at the Carnival in Rio.
Yeah.
I could say on some nights, because it's 1,000 acres up there. It would be like Cuba back in the 50s and 40s. Showgirls, movies, just elaborate luxury houses and stuff. And I just think that was going to be a winner. And you look right off, and right off the I'm looking at the freeway right here, so easy to get here. Just come up.
Nice.
And it's closer than Coachella.
Yeah. You're at really like this pinnacle moment in time in an industry. Like you can call it, you know, the way Prohibition ended and the amount of innovation that came out of that revolving around legal alcohol selling. You're in the same kind of moment now where even the fact that you're having conversations at regular dinner tables all across the country about marijuana being legal and then getting into businesses, and you've got young entrepreneurs all over the place, which stimulates, no different than tech, amazing amounts of ideas and creativity, and you can have like amusement parks based around. Who knows? But I'm just saying, there's really no end. You're at the very beginning of it, and you're at the forefront of like this huge industry that we all already know has a giant demand.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting when we were Fyllo, technology company, we came from mainstream and try to hire people. People like they'd be interviewing for the job. They'd be like, "Oh, is this good for my resume?" I'm like, "You're not right fit for this." You know, but we started to bring in, you know, Fyllo top talent from all the, like you said, from the mainstream world, and people just want a new challenge. Yeah, and it's like fun to learn something and educate yourself.
Right. And be at the forefront of like influence how people actually like smoke and how people are going to, you know, take these
everything.
I don't even like calling them drugs, but like take these medicines, you know. Yeah. It's pretty.
In the Olympics in 1924, the bike riders rode the bikes. They was passing cigarettes to one another, and they was riding.
Oh yeah,
right. Before they thought it was bad for them, doctors were smoking in commercials, talking about how healthy it is. It's you know, it's an exciting time for a lot of different things, but especially in the cannabis and controlled substance space, I think it's going to be, you know, you got pop culture getting involved, you got television shows creating shows, whether
stuff like this is the beginning stage of the anti-aging program. It just takes a little longer.
Yeah. What's your opinion on NAD? You know what that is? NAD?
What's that? Tell
I
me.
tried doing that with
Tell me that.
like
What
when
is
I got
that?
COVID. It's, I don't know. They say it manipulates your cells, and it's the anti-aging.
Yeah.
It
There's a
goes
lot of
by
NAD,
IV. It
IV
makes you feel
treatments, yeah.
terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
I did it
Didn't
fast.
someone
I
do
was
that
like,
yesterday?
"Throw up."
Burns. Yeah, we were talking about this
Kills.
before,
But it's supposed to slow your aging process and even reverse the aging of your cells.
They
So
say
that your
mushrooms
skin-
does that too. He said
Yeah,
you
I
look
mean,
younger.
What doesn't mushrooms do?
That's what Daniel tells me.
Do they make you taller?
He said it made him look 5 years. He said from a picture when you came out of the NHL to where you are today, you look
the
young.
before and afters.
Yeah.
So one thing that you see after big dose, I don't know if you notice it, but you look younger because of the potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant benefits of that mushroom.
Post hallucination. Right?
Post,
Okay.
yeah,
So you're
post ceremony.
You're not seeing yourself.
Post ceremony.
Right.
No. The first day, not so good. Second day, third day. What mushrooms do for like the GI tract and your stomach? Because 90% of our serotonin receptors aren't up here. 90% of them are in the gut. That's why they say the gut-brain axis is so important and such a strong connection. So when you think of it that way, and you understand psilocybin and how it is a locking key for serotonin, and that's why sometimes you like get a little
The NAD,
upset stomach
the NAD
or
cranks you here.
yeah.
It's the craziest feeling ever.
But I mean, this is natural, so like it's very different than NAD. This is from
That's
the
what you
earth.
got
Like we
for
can
me.
get
That's stuff
spiritual
you're
about
holding
it.
for me right now.
Correct. Yeah, and you could get really spiritual about it. But these mushrooms have been around, for millions and millions and millions of years. It's called a technology because Native Americans have used it for. So if you use it like very intentionally, you can get these amazing benefits. I don't like anti-aging, maybe, but it makes people. I've sat with over 80 people now the last 2.5 years and led people through it. It just makes you look younger. I think it's because of the way that it makes you feel. And we hold there's
Attention
stress
and stress,
points, right? In our face. The FDA has well validated endpoints for how we hold stress in our face.
So maybe
and
there's
for
a
whatever.
mushroom cream in your future.
Maybe that.
Without the
There's going to be some
There's maybe something coming down the future.
Yeah, there is definitely something coming in the future. Speak to me.
You seem very smart. You almost like a scientist. Help me out. Who are we?
Who are we?
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know. How long do we got?
Yeah, all day. You know?
Yeah.
Men, well, we just talking with my father that men are just a compound of needs and necessities. They never can be satisfied. And even then when they are satisfied, it's a feeling of feelingness and abandonment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So what is success? Who are we? How come we get 20, $40 billion or something and we kill ourselves?
I think success is not measured by money.
No, that's what I mean.
Not measured by even stature.
What is success? Those big time stars, if I say that. You know, what is it that this does to people?
I don't know. Like in my journey, I think success is just like really understanding who I am, what works for me, what doesn't. Because then if I know and I start loving myself and I start like caring for myself, then others around me will see it. It's contagious, the energy.
That's what I believe as well.
You know, and then that's, you know, we can get really deep into a rabbit hole, but there's a spiritual aspect to the medicine. And it's completely changed my life the last 2.5 years, my perspective, not only on myself, but of the world, right? I don't stress about the same things anymore. I don't worry about, you know, slitting throats anymore. Like I don't fight anymore. And for my whole life, I grew up in Canada. I just
listen.
fought everybody, you know.
I was a fighting, shit talking motherfucker. Oh, listen, you shouldn't have met me. I'm glad you didn't meet me when I was in your place back then. I saw somebody I didn't like, or my ex-wife or something. Oh, I was just a madman.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed that, to be honest.
But, God. And I did the told and it said love. Everything's about love, man.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of behavior or that kind of reaction, which is what we're talking about, like really reactive behavior, is unsustainable, right? It only has an ending, which is basically in trouble of some sort, whether you're getting arrested, divorced, sued, all that shit comes with reactivity, right?
Right.
Big time.
And I feel like if you're truly, a lot of people that are like that, in my vast experience of meeting a lot of people, because in the nightclub business since I'm 19 basically, and now I'm 44, and in nightclubs you see it all, because you add personality and mix it with alcohol. It's like an
Catch is
accelerant.
like a club.
Catch is a fun restaurant, but in New York we had many nightclubs where I started out. I didn't start in restaurants. I started in nightclubs. My first one was 24 years old, and
it was a success.
It was a success to me. It's a building block to where I am sitting right now. Yeah. This is like a moment of success for me, because I've idolized you, watched you since I'm a child, as many people tell you.
Thank you.
And to be sitting with you, even having a conversation, or you're having you in my restaurant, is a gift and a success. And I think I've made it. You know what I mean? Like, there's these moments, and there are not a lot of them, by the way. You're one of those moments. To me,
you got a great restaurant, so thank you for having me.
Thank you. Catch in West Hollywood, LA, and New York.
Catch is amazing.
Aspen coming soon. Catch.
I don't even know we really met through Meet Your Friend, but I've been at Catch. I was telling him I was going to Catch.
I tell that my friends too.
Yeah. But no, I agree with what he said though. Like, I used to watch your fights with my grandpa. They're all now past, but I used to watch we'd all get together to watch Mike Tyson fight. And, so like sitting, it is nostalgic. And that's why I tell you, like, Tyson Ranch, your brand, it means something in the cannabis space, because like Daniel in the mushroom space, you push this with no fear. The same way I always tell him when we were, working together at Wesana, it's like champion mindsets, and you have one. Anyone that's successful and, both at home and at work, you have to have a mindset that you're resilient.
But if you're not fair, if you have no fear, then you're sane. You're a crazy man.
I don't think so.
Then you can't help anybody. Fear is your friend.
Yeah.
Fear helps you excel, makes you punch harder. Fear is your weapon. I always try to tell my daughter that book is not a book, it's a weapon. They don't get it yet.
Yeah. But that's the thing about you, specifically you. Like, not everyone can go out and create a brand after retirement, after the life that you've led, let's say, and succeed, because you were so unique, so special, and so significant to so many people at so many different ages. You transcend from, like, I'm talking like I might have been 9 or 10. My brother is obsessed with you, and he was 3 years younger than me. My dad was obsessed with you, and he's 20 years old. And still to this day, everyone that walks basically the earth, as far as I'm concerned, in modern day, that has had a television or is, knows who you are. And as a result, they have a passion to understand, where are you today and what is your mindset? And they will follow it, I think, because you were so special in the sport that you excelled in, beyond anyone's really dreams or expectations of what you can do in a sport. And now in business, to do the same. It's believable, it's authentic, you know what I mean?
I'm a strong exponent of gratitude. With the universe giving me gratitude, I don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
And you're vulnerable too, I think that's what draws a lot of people to you, right? Is that authenticity and the vulnerability.
Well, you're honest.
All the glory, whatever it is, it goes to God. You know what I mean? I don't want any of that. I'm just a human being. I want to be able to walk the streets without people, ransacking me. I'll try my best not to be that guy that wants to hide and get away from the people. I want to be able to say, I'm just here, because I'm not going to allow my fame to imprison me. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, to be happy, what I was saying is, you see people being reactive, like I was saying before, like in the nightclub side, you take someone who's however they behave in normal life, then you add alcohol to it, and then you see really what they're about. And most people that are reactive are just not happy, or they're insecure, or they haven't found really themselves to be comfortable in their own skin.
No. And then I know some people that blame it on alcohol and get off.
Yeah.
Oh, it's alcohol did this to me. And those guys was giving me that alcohol.
Yeah.
No, everyone doesn't. It's not everybody doesn't have one of those upbeat finishes in life.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't you think that alcohol sometimes triggers like who someone really is, kind of trying to try to maintain themselves, but then with the alcohol they can't.
Alcohol kill more people than all the drugs in the world combined. That's something.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
At all ages.
Yeah.
in car
Unbelievable.
accidents. And
Oh,
Then,
yeah.
then you become an alcoholic really bad, and then when you stop drinking, you're really sad, have no personality.
Right.
You know, it's just crazy.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
used to
it's
call
a
it my social
proven
lubricant.
it's a proven neurodegenerative. But I mean, I think it's, you find a space and it's manageable, just like everything else, right? 19 drinks. After 19 drinks, it becomes a little bit
Yeah.
dicey. But 1 or 2 drinks, and
Problem is, most people can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
It would be nice if everyone could just.
And listen,
like, calm
sometimes I
drink.
gotta be honest, I
Yeah.
tell my wife sometimes, how come fucked up evil people never get addicted? Huh? What's wrong with that? How come they don't get drunk? How come they don't get drunk? How come they don't get high? They don't use cocaine? Because they probably get off fucking people.
That's right. Because
Yeah.
sociopaths, that is their drug.
Yeah.
Or criminals, they have different drug. Drug.
It's their
An
high.
addiction is different.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be drug
Imagine,
related.
Right.
imagine either you could destroy somebody's company worth around $40 billion or $200 billion for no reason.
Well, you see,
Addiction,
that's the biggest learning experience you have. I think any business owner, entrepreneur, you just don't know. People are like that. You
Yeah.
walk into narcissists and they don't give a shit, and they do a lot of them get away with that.
I mean, like, I don't know. When you're fighting, like when I was in my career, I mean, man, sometimes that mentality of knowing that I had to kill anybody that was in front of me helped me survive. So
Yeah.
I think it just always goes back to,
But you still had fear, right?
Yeah.
Like you
oh
said,
yeah,
like
man,
the fear
like
drove you to.
healthy fear for sure.
You know what?
You
It's
always,
only-
if
it's
you're
only
not,
hel- it's
if
only
you're
Don't
healthy.
have
not,
fear. It's something.
It's only
yeah,
healthy.
exactly.
It's only healthy when you know how to control it.
Yeah,
If
right.
you don't control it, it's going whack. It's like a fire.
Yeah.
If you control fire, you can make it heat and cook foods for us. And if you let it go out of control, it kills everything around you in you.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, again, like Mike said, you just use it. You hone it. If you let it take over you, you're going to be, you're not going to be on the attack. But
Yeah.
if you use it to your advantage, you can really be comfortable in that space. So there's a saying in hockey, like I was very comfortable being uncomfortable for a long time.
absolutely.
Because not only
Absolutely.
like when training camp starts, like you are immediately breaking down your body. You usually get 2 to 3 months to rebuild it, but it's a tough way to live and it's a tough lifestyle. But talking about like being reactive and how to use fear, man, my first 7 years of pro, I was always drinking. I was always using like numbing agents like opiates and painkillers, and
same
it was dark. Like I didn't have any success those first 5 years, other than I was killing guys like in these fights, and I was surviving, but I definitely wasn't my healthiest version. And then, last 5 years, kind of, I had to ask for help because you could see all these signs that it's starting to like fall apart.
Yeah.
Your family starts saying, "Hey,
You got no close relationships. You're like,
well, I know
you're
lost
isolating.
everything. Next thing you know, you're by yourself. Your friends don't like you no more.
Starting to get, no teams want to
Everybody's
sign
telling
you.
Get
Like
help,
it's like,
get help. You hear that? Get help, man. Get help.
Yeah. So,
Heard that
but then
shit before.
if you can do that, it was the best thing that I ever did when I asked for help. Because then I
me
got
too.
introduced to like meditation, marijuana, like all these
I
different.
got addicted to rehab.
Yeah.
Every time I get in trouble, I go up there. I can get a girlfriend and hang out. We go to the movies. It's like the babysitting us.
Right.
Yeah.
Camp for adults.
Yeah.
But behavior camp.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, like, I mean, I changed everything my last 5 years. I went to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 times with 4 different teams, and it was different. Like when I came back from rehab, I couldn't fight the same way. Like I couldn't think the same way. I was much more kind of like
Cautious.
on my heels. Yeah, and that is not good. Like you have to be, for me and for any hockey player, reactionary. You cannot think on the ice because there's so many things happening and moving. And so once you start thinking, which I was, because now all of a sudden I was more connected to myself. I understood what I was doing to other people, what was probably happening to me. And it changed. Yeah, it fucking changed everything. It's fucking crazy.
I'm going to blow your mind. It blows my mind. A second in hockey is very slow. You have to have 3/10 of a second. A fucking... It's just, It's nothing. An inch. You know what I mean? A minute. I mean, a second. Excuse me, a second. It's nothing in sports like hockey. It's nothing.
Yeah.
You get hit in a second, you out flat.
Yeah.
No.
In a second.
Yeah.
I was saying to him
Yeah,
before
it'd
the
be
show,
tenth of
like,
a second.
No
Half
out of
nuts.
bounds.
Half
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
a
you can't
half
get
of a
out.
tenth of a second.
And you have to-
God
Yeah.
damn.
You got 10 guys moving at like average speed of 30 miles an hour. There's no out of bounds. You're managing a puck. You're moving to open space. You're never passing to a person. You're passing ahead of them all the while.
You're on ice.
You're on ice. Yeah, you're on, a quarter inch of steel, and then you're making sure that you don't get your head taken off,
Listen.
and you're trying to put that
You have
puck
all
in
your
the net.
teeth? Do you have all your teeth?
No.
Nice.
Oh, nigga. I
Yeah.
see.
All 3 of these. This one's still gone.
No, you got anything you take out? You
You're
got
gonna go
that?
to-
No, I used to.
Oh, listen.
I used
You're
to.
gonna go to. You're
I
gonna
used
go
to have a
Cody-
flipper.
Gonna get it.
Oh,
Cody-
look, God, you could put them
Yeah,
in now for
the denture.
No, but I
Yeah,
used
we
to
had
have
a buddy that just did that.
Oh yeah, no.
No teeth.
I used to have
No
a.
teeth,
I used to
no
have it, but I kept then when you eat, you take it out, and I kept putting in napkins, and then like waiters or waitresses would come by and just scoop
You
it up
should
because it looked like
just-
garbage. I lost
Well, you
so
got
many.
both
of
your
them.
You
eyes
can get,
at
like
least.
Mike
I
said, you
got
can
'em.
get the new.
They're sharp.
Yeah,
They're sharp.
get the new teeth.
Oh, I got them. I got posts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
But I think even
Why is the teeth?
Because sticks, right?
Oh,
Sticks and pucks,
shit.
and you just wear a mouth guard, and your face is exposed.
It's crazy.
Some guys wear visors, but your whole face is exposed. So
You know when like a wide receiver jumps up to a pass that's too high over the middle and he knows he's going to get crushed in the middle? That is what I feel like hockey is the entire time.
yeah.
You're just going to get buried into some sort of wall or
But,
person or
like,
puck is going to slam
What's
you.
been amazing, and
I know
like
you're gonna say boxing, but
No.
hockey is so
Boxing, you could
barbaric.
really kind of
Yeah.
like
Right, that's
stand
just
back.
crazy.
still is. So it's the only sport where you can
Yeah.
fight with bare
Yeah.
knuckles, right? Like I can. There's no protection, but that sport was like managing all those different things. You have to have so much attention to detail, and then you can transfer. I don't like a lot of things about hockey, right? Like the culture, a lot of things are wrong, and it formed me into a person that I never want to be again. But I can take some of those like work ethic attributes and attention to detail and coachability, and then turn that into being an entrepreneur and a CEO. And I've told him before, but he's like one of the best coaches that I've ever had, because I wasn't so sure that I would be able to make the transfer from athlete to CEO of a life sciences company researching psilocybin for traumatic brain injury.
I think impossible is nothing to people
Yeah.
who try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
But even
wanted
it's
to
about-
listen too,
Yeah.
it's been a pretty crazy journey.
Yeah, it's about, you said fear. Like I agree. It's like honing your fear. I remember when Daniel was getting in front of all these, at this summit, his CEO summit, there's all these PhDs, and he's like, they're all PhDs. I'm like, you're a PhD. What you've done, more than most of these people on this panel. Gets up, crushes it. I've never met a guy that knows more than he does in his specific area. So it's like he's got it. It was that was when you had some fear.
Yeah, but it was a big win.
Fear accelerates me.
Yeah,
Me too.
Makes me see better, hear better,
Huh.
everything.
Focus better. It's like that feeling that
In
your
business,
gut.
it drives me big time.
Yeah.
The fear of failure actually
Yeah.
drives me. Like I always would say, like in the nightclub days and now the restaurant days, every time we opened a club or opened a restaurant, even when it was already succeeding, I had the same feeling as I did when I was like 10 years old and I had a birthday party and I felt like I wasn't that popular and I didn't know if anyone was going to show up. That feeling I've never lost.
Yeah.
It does not go away. I still every day, like he walks in, another person walks into the restaurant that's important or not important. I still need to get up off the couch, whether I've been successful or unsuccessful. Same mentality of, if I don't get off the couch and go into that restaurant or go into my business to add some sort of value or create some sort of experience, then someone else is going to, and I'm going to go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Every little thing, like a last night, like you had a nice dinner, but then I realized you're there. David Blaine's in town. I hit him up. Mike's at the restaurant. Where are you? I'm coming. And then, did you have a better time or the same time? If it was better, then I know that I've added the value that I'm talking about in that moment, just for whoever.
Rooftop magic, man. That was
Yeah.
that was
That's a
was-
That was a great
I
time.
forgot what I said, but I had to say this. I didn't have so much fun in so long.
right. That was a
This
good
is all I
time,
wanna
man.
hear.
Everybody
Yeah.
was happy up there. We were just smoking up there first. Then when he started doing tricks, everybody was happy and laughing.
Oh man.
I think
This is the business I'm in.
yeah.
Just
that atmosphere.
why come to me? You could spend $100 anywhere, you know, and get like pretty good food, especially in New York City.
after-
Every
so
block
listen,
has the best restaurant.
After something like that, who's not going to come back?
Or recommend.
Yes,
If
I
someone
recommend.
texts you like, "Where should I go? I'm coming to LA or
That's
coming
what
to New
I
York."
do.
Go.
I do recommend you to your guys.
Go to the rooftop
Yeah.
at Catch.
Yeah. In any city.
And Catch also has a, you know, I fucking just went vegan like
He
6
would
months
listen.
ago. And I have, every time I go to Catch, I
wasn't
always know
there.
I can get
Listen,
some good food.
Think about it. You. David was in there 5 or 10 minutes before he said, "Hey, let me show you something." This my father absolutely said, "Hey, let me show you this.
Oh.
Take this."
But you can tell. You can
He
tell
can't
how
help himself. He
5
loves it.
minutes he got me there. Let me show you this car.
Yeah.
I said, this
he was
guy-
connecting.
He's
man.
a master.
You know?
He's a
Yeah.
master.
You
Oh
told
my
him he gained
gosh.
weight. He got upset, so he immediately he had to get off him and right into
No,
the magic.
listen, that weight ain't nothing. You can do. And listen, I was over 100 pounds. I did the told. I lost 100 pounds in 4 months.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I would love David to do that.
He's unbelievable. What he can do.
You know, it would elevate his thinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's already at a different level.
Yeah, I'm sitting there complaining last night. I was like, "Oh, I'm intermittent fasting." He looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was, "I'm intermittent fasting. I can't eat between that. I'm trying to lose, 10, 15 pounds before the wedding." He's like, "Well," he held up the water bottle. He goes, "I survived on this for 45 days underground. Look at how I look." I was like, don't complain to me.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah.
You getting married?
Yeah, next month.
Yeah, buddy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
44, finally doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
How do you think we can make weed better? How can we make better cannabis? How can we intertwine it? How can we marry it with some psychedelics? How do we think that'll turn out?
I think,
Or
I
some
mean,
mushrooms?
I think with marrying it with cannabis, I'm kind of doing that right now with CBD with Wesana.
Yeah.
You're marrying our compound with
Yeah, so what we're developing at Wesana, like part of the regimen to help me get better is using a non-psychoactive cannabinoid, so part of the cannabis plant.
I want to inbreed them together.
Yeah, in combination with psilocybin.
I wonder what that joint's gonna be like.
Well, Mike, right now Tyson Ranch, the sky's, there's no limits. You can figure out how you want.
Well, let's get involved, please. I would love to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ask the do some brainstorming with the toad. Come up with some new ideas.
Yes, I will.
But yeah, nutraceuticals combining. I think the future of medicine and OTC or over-the-counter products are combining cannabis with psychedelics and functional mushrooms.
It's really a cannabis rush right now, huh?
Yeah,
big one.
great.
But like you, that's what got me better, man. Once I started intermittent fasting, 16-8 is my regimen. My recovery went like skyrocketed. It was really, and that's the same thing that I do. It's helped my sleep. It's helped everything. The intermittent fasting and using these natural medicines.
Mike, how many? This crazy. Someone told us yesterday. What you still work out 3 times a day?
Excuse me?
You still work out 3 times a day?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go back to that too.
Nice.
It's amazing.
So how do you do that? Because I've done once a day, every other day, and it was very hard.
I do my bike in the morning, my treadmill in the afternoon, and then I come back. I might do some weight, vice versa. I switch it around.
How long? When you say do bike, like an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes?
First it was 15 minutes because I was 100 pounds overweight. Every day 15,
Right.
20, 15, 20. And within a couple of months' time, I was up to like 2 hours.
Oh, wow. I was told doing uphill walking on a treadmill is very
That's
good.
the best.
It is good.
That's best than running.
Better for your body, everything, and you burn the calories that way.
Yeah, same you gotta burn same calories as running.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? You're walking, it's just stupid. Like, I don't know how God made this shit.
Find a hill.
I have a question off subject. How do you feel about the way your sport, boxing, is going right now with all the, Instagram versions of it? I know you love these guys.
YouTube?
Yeah, the YouTube fights and the Jake Paul
listen,
suddenly is having heavyweight or lightweight, whatever it is.
Listen, this is the deal. We're talking from a business perspective. I don't care if it looks goofy or funny. That money's real, and these guys are getting knocked out. This is an entertainment. You know, listen. I bring the world champion. I put him on my card, right? Let's say he's the great world champion right now, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm giving him some points. Say he brings 1 million people. That's a lot. I'm giving him an upside, right?
Mm-hmm.
This little fucking blonde hair, blue-eyed fuck come up with 70 million.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? These
It's
motherfuckers
a numbers
nigga,
game purely.
No. Listen, you have to listen to this shit. These 70 million people never saw a boxing match before.
Right.
Yeah.
And they coming for this little fucker. I love
Right.
him, yes. I put him on my card. He's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's beautiful.
So from the business perspective, you like it.
Yes.
But from the pure, I mean, look, I look at you and I think this is a guy who took the sport and the science and the philosophy of boxing for, you didn't do it for money. You did it because of the passion, and you went to the Olympics and you did all these things. Does it cheapen your sport or no? That's all I'm trying to understand.
This is what gets guys our age upset, because changing of the guard is hard to understand or want to understand. And that's just what it is. It's the changing of the guard, and these TikTok guys are part of it.
Yeah.
You understand that, right?
Plus, it's
They're
also
part of
giving-
it.
It's also giving
They
more
put-
exposure.
Yeah, it's getting more exposure.
Imagine,
too.
listen,
I agree with what you're saying.
Just
Double-edged sword
imagine,
to me. I get it, but
imagine this 10 years from now. I want to have the, what do you call them again?
YouTube stars.
I want to have all the YouTube boxers have a tournament and fight who will be the champion of the world in that world.
And just keep it in that category.
And let them
But the
fight.
crossover was so fast. That's what
But it's easy,
boggled my
but that's
mind.
what they do. They have another belt. It'll be whatever belt they want to be, and then they can put that up against the boxer's belt. It's all hype.
Yeah.
Hype sell fights. Fights don't sell fights. Hype sell fights.
Yeah, but the fact that I have a conversation with people of saying like, oh, it was pre-discussed how it's going to go, it's going to be arranged and all this stuff. Even that is a conversation, because I could tell you when you got in the ring, there was no conversation about whether or not this guy's going to take a fall or he's not going to hit him in the head or he's not
Absolutely.
going to hurt
Everybody's
him.
asking him, hey, how you feel, Roy? Are you all right, Roy? I say, what about me? I was fighting too.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody said, am I all right? Hey, Mike, how you
That's
feel?
rep, bro.
Yeah.
Your rep precedes you. Sorry.
So listen, I'm very happy about our business collection, and I think it's going to be really cool. Really happy about it.
Nice, man.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride. It's gonna be a fun ride. A lot of good things coming on the horizon. You deserve it.
You know, Amsterdam is not taking no more foreigners.
What happened?
Amsterdam's not taking no more foreign. It's not selling weed to no more
Amsterdam's done?
foreigners.
Yeah.
Foreigners. Yeah, that's what I read about.
So if you're not
Only
from
residents.
Amsterdam, you
Yeah.
can't buy
and the
weed.
people in Amsterdam don't smoke or get
Isn't that the
high.
whole point of
Ain't
Amsterdam?
that the
for
whole
people to go there?
thing? They don't get high to the residents.
It's all for the
Yeah.
It was all the
tourists.
tourists.
Yeah.
The red light district was only for tourists or whatever they call it.
Can't
Coffee
understand
shop.
people. I think they're jealous.
Silly.
Well,
Doesn't make sense.
They would
No
make so
foreigners
much
can come to
money.
I
America.
just
like
I just
that
put
way.
money into one of my college roommates opened up a restaurant in Amsterdam.
Really?
I brought like Chicago deep dish, his own little style to
Yeah, why don't you
Amsterdam.
see it?
He's
Why don't
killing.
you
He's
see
doing
what
well.
happens?
You know
Is he?
Malnati?
I don't. Oh yeah, I don't know him
Will used
personally.
to
Yeah.
work for us. He's a great
Yeah.
kid. He's doing
Really?
podcasts now too. Will Malnati. Yeah, he had the pizza place, the deep
Yeah.
dish. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's got like
Yeah.
these little puck
Chicago.
pizzas. He's a
Chicago,
hockey
yeah.
Popular
player.
there, yeah.
Hey
Little puck
guys,
pizza.
come on, let me
Giordano's.
tell you this. What was your from I don't know, from a business perspective, what was your greatest moment?
You can answer yours first. You go down the path.
That moment when you said, boom, I'm the best. I can deal with anybody. Even if it wasn't true, that's just
That's
how
a
you
tough
felt.
question too.
yeah, it's
Right.
tough because I don't really like answering it, but
Come on, man. You should keep it real with yourself.
yeah, well, I think you know, just having a vehicle or having a business that's trying to do as much as we can to really fill in the gaps as far as traumatic brain injury and recovery goes, and rehabilitation, and then cognitive performance as well. Getting public was
Like,
big.
you were
You
the-
know,
you were actually on the-
OTC, and
He was there.
yeah, you were on the CSE call, and like meeting you, working with you, you know, getting the WBC partnership as a research partnership was really exciting. recently got some animal work back that validates you know, our formula with psilocybin CBD, no drug interaction. So that now means that we can put it into human beings. That was big, but yeah, all of it. I don't like picking one. I'm
There's a
just
lot of
not
good
done
things.
yet, right?
It's
There's
hard-
so
it's
much
hard
more to
to-
do.
I
You
used
know,
to
so
somebody, I
much more to
wanted to
do.
be a big shot in this business. I just wanted this business was so cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Do you have a one moment in your boxing career that was your biggest accomplishment, or like was it one specific fight?
Larry Holmes.
Yeah.
Because I was a little boy, 14. I went with my mentor, and we went to fight him. We went to watch him fight Ali. Ali came out of retirement,
Mm-hmm.
and he really beat Ali up. I was crying and stuff.
Yeah.
And I said,
That's one that stands out
yes, I'm going to avenge you.
for Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I like that. For me, I feel like again, also stages, but like my first nightclub that I owned, and I had my first business partner that we're still partners today, and we owned a club called 10 June in New York City, and it's named after our birthday because my partner and I are both born on June 10th, so we called it 10 June. So we didn't want to call it Mark and Eugene, so it was like we wanted, but we want people to believe us that it was ours. So we're like, yeah, it's our birthday.
It's a
See?
cool name.
Yeah, I like that
And
name.
Cap Gemini, right?
yeah, Gemini's, and
I
like,
think I got married that birth, June 10th.
did you?
Yeah.
Congratulations, because that's a hell of a day.
Okay,
It's on my
yeah.
leg. It's on my arm.
June 10th.
Happy anniversary and happy birthday to me.
That your first tattoo?
No,
you have
my
two.
first tattoo is 10 June, which is here, 6, and then the 10 on the other side. And then birthdays were always, something for me because of that. Like, it was like my partner and I met because we had the same birthday. Someone introduced us. People were leaving my birthday to go to his birthday. Who the fuck is this Eugene guy that people keep losing, leaving my party and going to his party? So we eventually met and we hit it off, and we were the same kind of like point of view on what we want to do in the nightlife business.
You ever think, this is creepy, but to ask some people this question, you ever think, wait, I'm not even gonna go long. Yeah, I will. Let's say 10,000 years, right? The first man of your family, 10,000 years, even it goes millions of years, but just 10,000 years of your man generation come, whatever it is, boom. How does that make you feel? Where do you think ever like this? Was my 1200s grandfather Mongolian or something, African or something, and then it came out to me. All that led to me.
Yeah, I mean, whatever got me to wherever I'm sitting and how it all where it came from 10,000 years ago or a million years ago is hard to imagine. But I do think that like the summed up version of it is, people say you got lucky, and I'm like, well, I always think like hard work meets opportunity is luck.
No luck.
No luck. It's
That's why I
just
say the harder you work, the
saying,
luckier
no luck.
you are.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
think
so it's
harder
when your
you
hard
work-
work meets an opportunity, and then everyone's like, "Oh, how lucky were you?" It's like, lucky. I've been fucking grinding it for the last 10 years, and then this
suffering.
happened.
You have to be
Suffering.
prepared
Or
for
suffering,
They don't
grinding,
see in
suffering.
private you suffer to glow in the light.
Yeah.
I think, and it's happened a lot, and I have it tattooed right here, perspective, which to me is almost like my religion. I was living across the street from the World Trade Center when that happened. My friend died of cancer. All these things happened at a young age, and I thought to myself, how do I get upset about essentially anything anymore when people had to deal with that, or my friend died at a young age, who I envied very much, but I walked out of his hospital room when he had just found out that he had cancer. This was a kid that I was jealous of my whole life growing up, and we were only 20 when he got diagnosed, or 21, and he had a nice watch, he had a nice car, and he had fancy clothes and rich parents and all this kind of stuff, and I always was like, man, I wish I had. Then this happens, and I leave that room, and the only thing I thought to myself is, I just left him in a hospital gown, in a hospital bed, scared to death, because he found out he had a tumor the size of a grapefruit in his lung. And he would have traded anything to get out of that bed and walk out with me with nothing, right? And I'm sitting here like, there's no point of being jealous, envious, or wishing you had something else. I was like, perspective, that's it. you know, not that you can walk around the earth and be like, well, I don't have cancer, so who cares? But it's like your lows, I find, with perspective aren't as low, and your highs aren't as high with perspective, because it's not always going to be great, and it's not always going to be terrible. And there's always something worse going on, and you have to maintain, like, you only have this moment, and you're talking about 10,000 years ago. I'm thinking, I'm here, you're here, we're all here for a blink of a moment in the grand scheme of a timeline.
If we live to be 800 years old, it's just...
It's still a blink. It's like his hockey. So, like, how serious can we all take this shit? The fact that there's war at the end of the day, or the fact that we're all fighting about even just over money, or trying to get ahead of other people. Just, I'm sitting here thinking, if I'm healthy and my family is healthy, I've made it. And then everything else is sort of fun. How can I have more fun and time with the people that I like, love, or what keeps me interested or busy doing things that I enjoy, period. So the nightclub business I started after September 11th happened, I quit my job in finance because I hated it. But I was making money doing it, but I didn't like it. That happened. I was like, from today forward, I will do what I love. And that's it, without compromise. Money came, success came. That helps life get easier. But if you're walking around rich and miserable every day, and I've spoken to many kids or other people who say, like, tell me what, you know, when you educate in some way, when you give back, I'm like, if you believe TGIF is a thing, like, thank God it's Friday, it's bullshit. It sucks. If you're loving Friday and hating Sunday, change your life. Yeah. Because you should be loving every day. Fuck the weekends being the only time you have fun. That was what it was in school for me. I hated school, so Friday was great. Sunday night, I was like miserable. I have a whole week. I got to get up early.
I think that's exactly,
and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's my success, was figuring that out. And it had nothing to do with the fact that I sold my company, you know, 2 or 3 times and made money, or had celebrities in a restaurant that, you know, or a nightclub, and I felt cool, or I got laid, or any of those things. No, it was figuring out that moment of, like, none of it really matters other than enjoying your moment of time here, which is 24 hours a day. And if you do the math and you start talking to older people and they start thinking, like, how many summers do I have left? Yeah. You don't really know because you could die tomorrow, but let's just say
that now.
Yeah, well, fuck. It means you better enjoy the shit out of every day.
I say that
so
now.
why would I start later doing that? I started that thought at 23.
Sometimes I'm by myself, and do you believe I get I'm eating peanuts or something, and it get caught in my throat, and it came out, and I was already dozing off, so I went out, boom, and hit the floor. And I was in the house by myself, and if that thing was that, I would have died, and no one would have known. Wasn't that shit some creepy thing?
Yeah, out of all the things.
Peanut.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Peanut.
Yeah, people fall in the shower. They hit their head on a toilet. I mean, it's like, what?
No, I agree with what you just said. It's really, you know, perspective. I was miserable at my last company. The last 2 years, I was having a great time, built it from ground up, and then it started to get too corporate. And I was like, I got to get out of this. And my wife's like, just go do your thing. Like, we met when we were young. I got married at 24, but we were together at 22. And she always pushed me. I'm like, well, I'm going to take a huge pay cut. I'm going to start my own company, which I do here. And she's like, go fucking do that. I think, for answer your question, my business experiences are, you know, both starting Fyllo and Wesana. And it comes down to the people around me. Like, it's success is about the people around you too. Obviously, my wife was my success to push me to where I'm at, and I have a happy family. But then all the people that took risks to come with you, and then the energy. Like, so for me, when we talk about energy, or my whole executive team at Fyllo, I worked with all these people for years. It took a huge shot to come to cannabis. But when we had successful moments, and we haven't had our exit like you have or yet, we're succeeding. We saw it went public, but it's about the energy of people that you surround yourself with. Because like you said, you could work at any company, it could be Google or any of these companies, you can still be miserable. So it's how you surround yourself, because then you're happy on Sunday. You had a great week with your family. Monday, you're gonna have a great week with your work family, right? And so that's, for me, the business success I've had so far in the past 3 years is the people, the energy, and the competitiveness to not against each other. Like you said, I like what you said. Just not, you don't be jealous of people. Work and focus on yourselves and your company, and you'll be successful. Worry about someone else. You're worrying about competition in the restaurant space. I'm worried about competition in the cannabis space. I don't worry about that. I know that if we call the right plays, we'll be successful and not worry about all the noise. So that's kind of, for me, that's been my business.
Yeah.
I just think we should just be kind people when we do Tyson Ranch, kind and considerate, and want people to treat us with the kindness and dignity as well.
Yeah.
100%. Gotta live. You gotta have you gotta have empathy, and COVID, if anything, I'm guessing for you, for any of us, it probably is the most challenging time to be a CEO or founder of a company, to really understand how to talk to your people during those times. That, at least mine.
Yeah, you learn the word furlough.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. People are like, are you furloughing? I was like, furlough? Now it's a normal word. But like, yeah, this COVID.
What was it again?
Furlough is when you fire people, basically.
That sounds like some prison words to me, furlough.
Yeah, no, it's not that, but it's
furlough is when you go take on a visit or something.
You know, this is just a work. COVID for business, you know, I think was a
it was cool.
Once again another double-edged sword. It was terrible, but it provided opportunity to adapt and pivot and come out, hopefully, if you could survive, better and more efficient, and approach your future business, your next chapter post-COVID, differently than you did going into it. I think a lot of people were fat and happy. They were making money, so they just overhired or they overpaid, and I think employees got lazier, where they wanted more to do less, and suddenly it was like slam in the face to everybody from the top down, like work hard. Make yourself, the people that we kept on, obviously as much as we could, but, the people that you could not lose. You could not do your business without them. Well, that says something. And then I think people will learn from that on both sides, the hiring, people that are hiring, and also the people that are being hired, to become more valuable. And it's not just about give me my paycheck. It's about like, let me add value and good energy and get along with, and who you want to go to war with, because that was a war. We went into the COVID with like battle to survive. It's crazy. Yeah, for business wise.
I'm still baffled that a peanut almost took you down.
Isn't that something? I'm going down. It came out, but it always got me. I was already in that zone.
What a trip.
Mike, are you still singing a lot?
Singing?
Yeah.
Well, I've never sing personally out in the open, but do you want to pay for some lessons?
What's singing?
I'm just kidding.
And you're not playing golf, right? Your son's playing golf, right?
It's a possibility I might be his caddy or something.
I think your son is taking lessons where I'm on the board of UGP, the Urban Golf.
Yes, his stroke is 187 for a 10-year-old.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
He hits 100 balls a day. Besides working out. When you're home, he hits 100 balls a day.
That's awesome.
He loves this shit.
And your daughter's playing tennis.
Golf's fun.
Yeah. Can't believe this guy loves this stuff.
Yeah.
Golf.
Yeah.
It's great.
Golf is a good game.
Golf's great. I just got obsessed with it. It's great.
Athletic.
Nature's beautiful.
Agile, good tempo. Golf's awesome.
And it's yourself too. You're really just playing against your own score.
Allow these two men to tell you about the success and the mediocre rise of Tyson Ranch.
I'm Chad Bronstein, founder and CEO of Fyllo. Jumped into the cannabis space 3 years ago. We grew pretty quickly, about a 200-person company. We work with all the major MSOs and SSOs in the space. We met Mike Tyson and Tyson Ranch through that process, and we've gotten to work with them really closely. And we're pumped to see what Tyson Ranch is going to do over the next 2 years. This guy's a legend. And with the team around, all the people around here.
I'm going to pump it out, man. We're going to pump this stuff
and all
out.
these people.
Pump it.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. You're singing.
There it is.
That's the singing.
Right there.
That's right.
Okay. That's what we were waiting for.
Okay.
And then we're going to fucking crush things with Wesana and everything we're doing. We're blessed to be partners with you.
Thank you.
And Nazim, Kiki, the whole group and everybody. And we're excited.
Yeah.
Kirk.
Thank you.
All the team. You guys have great people.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You've been really amazing on this
it's your
journey.
time,
Man.
Daniel. Explain what you're doing with Tyson Ranch. And the enthusiasm that you do it in.
Yeah, so Daniel Carcillo, I'm the CEO and founder of Wesana Health. We are, partnered with you, obviously on research partnership with the WBC.
Thank you so much.
Of course. No, thank you. You've, like
Very
Chad
grateful.
said, you, Azim, Kiki, everybody's been amazing to work with. Opened a lot of doors, a lot of possibilities, and we're excited about the future and what we're going to do to help people with their neurological health and wellness, and hopefully with the anti-aging thing, and who knows where the path is going to take us. But we are developing, diagnostics. We have 5 clinics now doing ketamine treatment for various psychiatric
How much
conditions.
do you use?
It just depends on the individual.
How much would you use for me?
Ketamine?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but we could figure that out with our doctor that we have on board at our CMO. We're going through the FDA process to create the first pharmaceutical for TBI related anxiety and depression. And just excited about the development path and everything that's coming for us in the future, and being able to help people now, right, with education and awareness. That's the most important thing. So yeah, I really appreciate you, man. Appreciate you opening your doors and introducing us to your family and getting to know you better. So
part of the family too now.
oh man, yeah, it's been a great journey.
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey. And then
Great
we'll
to
have,
meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Journey just
exciting.
began, guys.
and then we're gonna have to go to MJ Biz, and Mark's gonna hook us all up a catch before our big event.
Yes, we're gonna have
Mike's
some of our press conference.
Philo's throwing a huge party.
No,
But we're throwing a big
press
party,
conference.
but we're gonna throw our dinner at
Mike's coming.
Catch.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
in Vegas. You're doing
Yeah,
that.
October
Yeah.
21st.
Okay,
Do
good.
that. He'll be there.
Yeah,
He'll come.
I'll be. It's
Well, he's,
right.
he's coming back from his honeymoon.
after Africa. I'll be
Okay.
there.
Listen, we'll be movie, the fucking film camera. What's those guys' name? News cameras in there checking your shit out,
Yeah.
buddy.
It'd be great.
You'll be the man. You are the man, but you'll be the double man.
Yeah, I do my best. Anyway, I'm Mark Birnbaum, co-founder of Catch Restaurant Group, and we have a seafood and sushi restaurant called what we now call Catch OG in New York. It's our 10-year anniversary. Actually, this year is our first one. We also have one here in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, and we're building. We have a Catch Steak, which is our newest one, which we opened just before COVID hit, about 9 months before. It was a great success, and we're now expanding that to Catch Steak in LA on Melrose Place here, and then one in Aspen I'm building now. We'll open this winter, actually, right before New Year's. And we'll see what else is to come. But, generally speaking, I just love having you guys as customers and friends. And I've been an enormous fan of yours for as long as I can remember, and pretty much got me into sports. So thanks for all that you've done. And I'm excited to see what you guys do. No, please. It's like an honor to be here. So good meeting you through my boy Stu. And let's keep going, boys. This is just the beginning. That's what I'm feeling like.
I hear you.
No?
He's being very humble. He has the best food in the country.
Mm-hmm. They are.
I'm saying he's too.
He really is.
He's a very smart, very accurate, very truthful man.
Yeah.
And I thank everybody for watching Hotboxin. And I like to thank my friends Daniel, Mark, and my man Chad. And we all love you. And we're out.